Hello, Hofstra fans. Welcome to this edition of the W Mason Coaches Report with head women's basketball coach Danielle Santos Atkinson. My name's Rachel Vogel, and Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing well. So the Pride coming off another 1-1 split this week at Northeastern, 2 straight splits starting the conference off 2-2. But this past weekend you were doing the home and home series with Northeastern, Thursday on the road and Sunday at home. First an 11-point win on Saturday, followed by a slim 1-point loss on Sunday. But first, just to get things started today, let's talk about some of the things that you were pleased with this weekend.
We continue to have growth with this team, and that's one of the things that we've got to have all season. And one of the things that we've talked about going into this year is how do we continue to get better every game, every practice, every day. We've got to look to be better than we were. And this team has done that. This team's continuing to compete. They're continuing to have growth in everything that we do. One of the things that we talked about is now not going backwards. And so we've reached a point to where we've done some really good stuff and we're starting to figure some things out, but now we've got to fine tune and continue to grow and continue to get better in all areas and really sharpen up in some areas that have hurt us throughout the season. And so really pleased with the way they're rebounding the basketball, really pleased the way with how we're pushing the ball in transition and able to get points and score early in the shot clock, and our ability to move the ball, share the ball. Again, we have scores on our team, and we have the ability for anybody to score. And so the way they shared the ball has been great. We shot the ball really well in some of these past few games. And so just continuing to do that, continuing to get to the free throw line. And then when we get there, step up and knock down our free throws. And so I think there's a lot of things that we're doing really well. And now we've got to continue to do those things and stay consistent as we can.
You mentioned you were pushing the ball really well in transition. We saw that especially a lot on Thursday at Northeastern with a season-high 13 steals and pushing the ball up the floor. So what is it about your defense that really has been making you shine against some of these CAA teams?
Yeah, I think it's just a heightened awareness of where we have to be positioning and then having each other's back. Everybody has to do their job is one of the things that we talked about. And then we've got to have each other's back. There's not going to be a perfect possession. There's no perfect possessions. But how do we cover for each other and have each other's back? And as long as we have an awareness and we have an intensity and energy on that end of the floor, we can still make it really tough for opponents to score. And so I think we've been doing a better job with that. We've been having a better job of doing a better job of being in help side and making sure we understand who the help is and how to help the helper. And I think that's also helped us in some of our steals that we've been able to come up with.
And Jakayla Brown with a career high 23 points on Thursday against Northeastern. Seems like she's really evolving into a leader on the floor and gaining some confidence behind her shooting, and particularly as of late, her three-point shooting. So talk about Jakayla and the pivotal role that she plays in this team as the current leading scorer.
Yes, Jakayla has definitely been a consistent, steady player for us on the defensive end especially, but then on the offensive end also. She's doing a great job of just really allowing the shots to come to her, making it a point and emphasis to get to the free throw line. And she's been really steady. And so for us, she comes in, and as you mentioned, she's been a great leader in practice and in the games. She's definitely stepped up this year and has focused and has a focus on what it is she wants to accomplish this year and what she wants it to look like for the team. And she's been very vocal with that. And she's also done a great job of making sure to bring people with her and hold people accountable.
And this past weekend, we saw some solid minutes from your bench. I'd specifically like to point out Micaiah Karosky and the spark that she provided against Northeastern this weekend. So in addition to Micaiah, how important is it to have your bench now that you're getting into these back-to-back CAA days and the depth in your bench? So how important is that going to be heading forward?
Very, very important. As you mentioned, playing the back-to-back games, we got to make sure that we manage everyone's minutes. We've put a lot on our starting five to be able to do a lot and play a good bit of minutes. But with the back-to-back games, we've got to make sure that we have great contributions from our bench. And I think these last few games, they've done a good job. And in practice, they're doing a much better job of having an impact and coming in focused and ready to go. And to see them come in and play quality minutes really, really helps us as a coaching staff, and having the confidence and understanding and knowing that they know exactly what to do when they step out on the floor. And so very, very crucial for us coming into these back-to-back games, and just the point of where we are in the season. As we get later in the season and we continue to go through, we're going to need that depth and everybody contributing.
And finally, just looking at something that you've kind of been struggling with all season long, your team's three-point shooting, but this past weekend you had a season high 5 3-pointers against Northeastern on Sunday. So it seems as if your team is developing some confidence beyond the arc. So where is that confidence coming from?
I think it comes from a couple things. I think one's our rebounding. We've been doing a great job of rebounding the ball. Importantly, our offensive rebounding. And I've always said that frees up shooters to be able to take shots and have the confidence in their shot, knowing that if they miss, that we've got a lot of people down there working extremely hard to get that rebound and to have a second chance opportunity for a shot. And so I think our rebounding definitely has given our shooters confidence to be able to shoot the ball. And then they've given each other confidence. You know, we've told them, if you're open and it's a good rhythm shot, we want them taking the shot. We know we're rebounding the ball very, very well. And so that shot gives us an opportunity, if they miss, to go after it and get a second chance shot. But if we work really hard to get good rhythm shots and it's a good shot for that person, we want them taking it. And so I think they've done a great job of doing that in practice. And they give each other confidence as well, and encouraging each other to shoot the ball and letting them know, if you miss, we're going to get it.
So now looking forward to this weekend, the next CAA series up on the docket, Delaware. Very tough team, 7-1 overall, 4-0 in the conference. They've shown some great improvement over the past couple of years. Their top player, Jasmine Dickey, over 20 points and almost 9 rebounds a game. So what are some of the things that the team has been doing at practice, not only to stop Delaware's top player, but also the team as a whole?
Yeah, they're very athletic. They like to push and transition and run and go just as we do. And they have, again, the ability to score the ball on the offensive end of the floor. So for us, this last game, we had a good bit of turnover. So we've got to make sure that we do a better job of limiting our turnovers, which is one thing that Delaware does, is they can force turnovers with their athleticism and their length. So we want to make sure that we take care of the ball and limit our turnovers. We don't want any live turnovers, especially because that gives them momentum and transition buckets. We got to make sure our transition defense is where it needs to be, so that we're not allowing the fast break points that we want offensively. We don't want to allow them to get those buckets as well. We want them to have to play in the half court, and we want them to have to go against our tough defense. And as long as we're fundamental and our defensive end of the floor, we want to make sure we make those shots tough. For us, we want to make sure we run and push as well. We want to get shots and score out of transition. And so we've got to also do that and have an awareness, and as we go through offensively, and making sure we get stops so that we can do that on the offensive end of the floor. They also rebound the ball very, very well. And so we've got to make sure that we find a body and box out so that we limit those second chance opportunities.
And Coach, you're going to be home 2 straight games back to back. Just speak a little bit of what it's going to be like for your team to stay in their routine this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, that's really important, that you're able to get a great night's rest. You're not having to travel on the road. And like you said, you can stick with your routine, and you're in the gym that you practice in every day. And so just having that, that comfortable feel going into these next 2 weekends, knowing that we don't have to travel and be on the road, I think we're looking forward to it. And I think the team is as well.
Great, Coach. Well, once again, wish you the best of luck this weekend. And fans, make sure you tune in this weekend against Delaware. Both games 2 o'clock Saturday and Sunday at the Mac Sports Complex. We hope you tune in on flowhoops.com. And Coach, once again, best of luck. And thank you very much for taking the time to join me today.
All right. Thank you.